Hey guys, happy Tuesday. We are going to jump right in. We're finishing up statistics this week. So we want to make sure that you have a really solid understanding of statistics to show that you are ready for seventh grade. We're also actually going to be working on like an end of, I always, when we're in the classroom, do an end of the year project in sixth grade. So we're going to do a modified version of that this week as well, which I think a lot of you will find very interesting. Go ahead and get started on your PDN. You can come back and check your answers when you are done. Okay, this should be pretty straightforward. We worked on it a ton already this year. Median's at 39, it's right here. Upper quartile, remember, is this line, 49. Lower quartile is this line, which would be 31. Highest value is 61, 62, 63. Lowest value is 20, 19. Range would be the biggest number, 63, minus the smallest number, 19. 63 minus 19 equals 44. Interquartile range is going to be your upper quartile, 49, minus your lower quartile, 31, which gives us an interquartile range of 18. All of that's a review from stuff from last week. If you don't get that yet, you should go back to last week's videos to check it out. Okay, today's the last week that we're going to be learning new material for sixth grade. And even that's not really true because we're just reviewing statistics. Starting next week, you'll be reviewing stuff that we already learned this year all the way back from September so that you're sharp and ready to go for seventh grade. Today, we're going to look back at all the data displays we've working over the last few months, review them, and answer questions on them. Some examples are below. You won't see a ton of these on your classwork today, but I just want to get you familiar again with some of the stuff that we've done so far in online learning. Example, it says use the information for questions 1 and 2. This chart gives us Jalen's daily sit-ups. The first thing I always like to do is check how many numbers there are so I know what I'm going to deal with. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 25 numbers. I also like to kind of think about what do these numbers mean. 14, okay, that means on this day, Jalen did 14 sit-ups. 3, on this day, Jalen did 3 sit-ups. Week, okay, so now I know what those numbers are. What percent of the days did Jalen do under 10 sit-ups? There's actually 2 steps to this, and some of us are forgetting the second step when we see problems like this. The first thing I need to know is how many days did he do under 10 sit-ups? In this column, none of them are under 10. In this column, it's 1, 2, 3. So 3 days, he did under 10 sit-ups. That's not what this question asks us. This question asks us what percent of days did he do under 10 sit-ups. So in order to find that, I know that it's 3 days out of a total of 25 days. I now have to set that equal to something out of 100 because I know all percents are out of 100. 25 times what is 100? At this point in sixth grade, you better know that. 25, 50, 75, 100 times 4. So I do 3 times 4 to get to x. So x would equal 12 out of 100, which I know is 12%. Okay, so that's the answer I'm looking for. 3 days is 12% because it's 3 out of 25. What percent of the days did Jalen do exactly 14 sit-ups? Okay, exactly 14. 1, 2, 3, 4. This time it's 4 days, but again, I'm looking for a percent. So it's 4 out of 25 days. 4 out of 25 equals what out of 100? What do I do to 25 to get to 100? Times 4. What do I do to 4 to get to x? Times 4. So x is equal to 16 out of 100, which is going to be 16%. Okay, that goes all the way back to like week 3 or week 4 of online learning. Use the following histogram to answer these questions. This is a question that a lot of us got wrong in the exit ticket that day, so I want to revisit it. How many students did Kyra survey? We have to, again, think about what is this chart saying? The accompanying histogram shows the heights of students in Kyra's health class. So Kyra asked every kid in her class how tall they were. 2 kids said between 100 and 169 centimeters. 4 kids said between 170 and 79 centimeters. 5 kids said between 180 and 189. So how many kids did she survey? Well, in this column, she surveyed 2. In this column, she surveyed 4. In this column, she surveyed 5. In this column, she surveyed 4. In this column, she surveyed 1. So how many kids did Kara survey altogether? She surveyed 16 kids, or surveyed. Okay, that's all it asks, how many students were in her class. We're not actually using these numbers, we're asking how many are in each group. What percent of the class, oh, I see that word percent again. What percent of the class is taller than 179? So these guys are not taller than 179. These guys are not taller than 179. These guys, and these guys are all taller than 179 because starting in this one, they're at least 180. So 5 kids plus 4 kids plus 1 kid gives me a total of 10 kids. But again, it's not asking me how many kids are taller than 179. It asks what percent of kids are taller than 179. So that's 10 out of 16. Above, I was able to put 25 equal to 100. 16 does not go into 100. So my other option is I can divide, which is always the easier way because you're always going to get it right. I'm going to take out my calculator and I'm going to divide 10 divided by 16. 10 divided by 16 on my calculator says 0.625. That's not a percent, that's a decimal. I still have to change it to a percent by moving the decimal twice. 1, 2. So my percent is 62.5%. Again, with a calculator, that's super easy, but in 7th and 8th grade, you're going to be allowed to use a calculator. What I want you to do right now is you're going to do problems practice set 1. For practice set 1, I'm just giving directions, so don't end the video yet. I'm giving directions. You're going to be asked to interpret a box plot. If you're not sure about this box plot, if you don't remember this lesson, go back to week 8 on Google Classroom Wednesday, and you may need to rewatch the video, okay? There's 10 questions just based on this chart. For problem set 2, you don't have an exit ticket today. Your grade is going to be based on your answers to problem set 1 and problem set 2. For problem set 2, you have 8 questions, okay? And it's about the different statistics stuff that we've done. The first one is statistical questions. There's 2 multiple choice questions. If you're not sure about statistical questions, maybe you weren't on Google Classroom yet, maybe you just don't remember, you might need to go back to week 3, Thursday, and watch the video or look at the notes. I don't want you to go back in week 3, Thursday, and redo the whole lesson, but you might need to look back at it on Google Classroom if you don't know what statistical questions are. The same are true for dot plots. We did dot plots on week 4 Monday. I know some of you missed that lesson because as we were going through things, a lot of you got them wrong. So you might want to go back to Google Classroom, go back to week 4. It says it's not active, but you can still open it up, and you might want to either read through the notes or watch the video. Histograms are week 4 on Thursday. Box plots are week 8 on Monday. Again, your grade today is not just based on whether or not you do this, it's based on how many questions you get right. There's 10 questions here and 8 questions here. I'm going to make it out of 20. You need at least 10 out of 20 right. Otherwise, I'm going to return it to you and have you resubmit. And it won't be marked as right until you have at least 10 out of 20 right. That'll give you a 50%. Now, I'm hoping that you guys get all of them right. But if you don't, I'm going to ask you to redo it. Questions? Not sure about something? Need help? Give me a call, 847-769-4731. Or you can hop on our call today on Zoom at 11:15. This is what the rest of the week's going to look like. This is what tomorrow is going to look like. And then Thursday, we'll get started on our project. I will see you guys tomorrow.